My daughter's fiancé mocked my simple gift in front of everyone, but a hidden note inside exposed the most dangerous secret he had been hiding. I knew something was wrong the moment it happened. He was standing in front of me with my gift in his hands. About 40 people filled the room. My daughter, Emma, was glowing with happiness. The engagement party was being held at a large suburban house in our neighborhood. String lights decorated the backyard. Guests sipped coffee and talked about the future. Then Emma's fiancé, Jason, shook my gift box and laughed. "That's it." Few people chuckled. He opened the box. Inside was a simple old leather wallet. I thought it would be something special. More laughter followed. I stayed silent. People often mistake silence for weakness. That is usually their first mistake. I worked in the finance department of a hospital. For 15 years, I had spent my life surrounded by budgets, audits, and numbers. I knew there was only one thing more dangerous than emotions: evidence. Jason tossed the wallet back into the box. I said only one thing. "Read the note too." He smirked. "Oh, a sentimental message. Read it." My voice remained calm. He unfolded the paper. And the final stage of the game began. His smile disappeared after the very first line. I never looked away. In chess, the king does not fall when a piece moves. He falls when he realizes there is no escape left. 3 months earlier, I had my first suspicion. Emma lived in an apartment. She was a nurse. She was still paying off her student loans. Every month she carefully managed her budget. Jason worked for a tech company. At least that was what he claimed. On Instagram, their life looked perfect. Expensive restaurants, weekend trips, beautiful photos. But real life hides between the pictures. One evening, Emma came to my house. "Mom, Jason says we should combine our finances after the wedding." He nodded. "Okay." "He wants me to move my retirement savings into a shared plan too." Became very quiet. Emma was 29 years old. Her 401k held nearly $100,000. That money had not come easily. Night shift, overtime, working holidays, years of sacrifice. I said nothing. I simply made my first move. The following week I started looking into Jason. Not reacting. Planning. I knew people could hide secrets. But numbers often tell the truth. I talked to mutual acquaintances. I contacted former co-workers. I reviewed public records. Then I found the first piece. Jason did not even work for the company he claimed to work for. He had been fired nearly a year earlier. I still said nothing. I made my second move. More records surfaced. Loans, credit cards, personal debt. Several accounts had already gone to collections. The total exceeded $200,000. Still I remained silent. Then I discovered the final piece. A former fiancé. She had ended their engagement just weeks before the wedding. Why? Financial deception. Jason had tried to gain access to her accounts. Now the picture was complete. I did not call the police. No crime had been proven. I did not tell Emma either. Because when people are in love, they rarely trust evidence. They defend the person instead. The game had to end at the right moment. I organized everything into a file. Documents, records, verified information. Then I wrote a short note. Just a few lines. Enough to let the truth walk out on its own. That note was inside the wallet on the night of the engagement party. From the outside, the gift looked cheap. Inside, the entire board was waiting. Jason's face turned pale. The room fell silent. Emma looked at him. "What's wrong?" No answer. I took a sip of coffee. He kept reading. The note said, "There is a USB drive hidden inside the wallet. It contains records of your former employment, your debts, and documents related to your previous engagement. If you've already told Emma the truth, there's nothing to worry about. If you haven't, tonight is a perfect opportunity." That was all. No threats, no accusations, just the truth. Jason immediately opened the wallet again. The USB drive was exactly where I had placed it. His hands trembled. Emma looked at me. then back at him. Jason. He remained silent. Sometimes silence becomes a confession. What is this? Her voice was sharper now. Jason tried to speak. I can explain. What exactly are you going to explain? No answer came. For the first time that night, I looked directly at him. The truth always seems cheap until someone has to pay its price. The room was completely silent. Nobody laughed anymore. Nobody said a word. Jason knew the game was over. Emma took the note from his hand. Read it. Then slipped the USB drive into her purse. I need to go home. That was all she said. They left together. The party slowly ended. Guests quietly began to leave. No one asked me any questions. They already had their answers. 3 days later, Emma came to my house. There were no tears in her eyes. Only exhaustion. It was all true. He nodded. I know. Why didn't you tell me before? I looked out the window. A neighbor was mowing his lawn. It was an ordinary American evening. People were thinking about mortgage payments, bills, and retirement plans. Real life always keeps moving. I finally answered. Because if I had told you, you wouldn't have believed me. She stayed silent. Continued. I needed to show you the truth, not tell you the truth. After a long pause, she took my hand. That wallet really was a cheap gift. For the first time I smiled. No. Then what was it? I answered softly. It was the most expensive gift I've ever given. And it was true. Because that night, I didn't give my daughter an object. I saved her from the wrong future.